everybody. Today is August 3rd, Saturday. So we're still trying to wrap up third crop here. We just got this one field left. We chopped some of it yesterday, but it was still just too wet. So we cut this on, what day did we cut? Wednesday. We're hoping to get everything finished up Wednesday, but then we got a shot of rain. They're calling for rain at 6 o'clock. Ended up coming at 4 o'clock, so we didn't get done. So then it kind of rained all night and into Thursday morning till about noon. So Thursday was shot, everything just never dried out. Friday came around yesterday. We were able to get most of it off. It dried down enough, but this field here, you can't really tell, but then the outsides are really dry. This is really sandy ground, but this bottom here is pretty low where I'm standing. And this was some really thick, heavy hay. We cut it, we laid it out real wide, but when we got that rain, we got an inch of rain, and this stuff just did not want to dry out. Yesterday we thought it'd be all right. We came in here, merged it, and it was so thick and lush. And that merger, I like it, but it throws, when we pick two up and put it to the middle, it makes a pretty tight windrow. It doesn't space out enough. I'm trying to think, I kind of want to do something with that to maybe just put like a divider in that center there and see if that keeps it spaced out, but I didn't do that yet. So this stuff just did not dry out yesterday. So we left it. We had time today to do it. So I actually came out here this morning with the merger again and just kind of tipped it, threw it off to the side, got it off to the wet ground, kind of aired it out a bit. Now I think it's gonna go. It's drying pretty good. The sun's been out, it's pretty windy. And the very bottom here, I wouldn't say bottom, but the lowest spot, it's still a little wet in there. The top's nice and dry, but down in the bottom, she's plenty wet. Some of this is really on the bottom. But that's just, this really low spot is wet. The ends are really dry, the top's dry, so I think it's gonna blend enough that it should go through the bagger anyways. So we're gonna get this wrapped up here. There's about 3 loads to do, we're thinking, so we'll chop this up, and we got another ball game tonight to get to, so we gotta get her done. We're getting low on fuel, but we should have enough to finish this out, hopefully. So we had a late night last night. We started our region baseball tournament, and we had the late game. Game was supposed to start at 8:30. The game in front of us went to extra innings. We didn't start until, what time did they say we started? 9:45. And our game went to extra innings. We played till the 11th. We ended up winning. It was probably one of the better baseball games you could have asked for. Just a great pitching duel. Both pitchers went all 11 innings. Thick spot here. And so we ended up winning it in the bottom of the 11th. Miraculously, I was the one that had the game-winning hit, which was pretty cool. But there was a lot of big plays in that game that won that game for us. Matt Cummett, big home run in the bottom of the 8th to tie it up. Our pitcher, Chewy, in the 11th had runners on second and third, nobody out. Struck out the side. Just a crazy game that finally got done about 1 o'clock. And as usual, we sit around there for a while and drink some adult beverages. So we got home probably around 2:30 last night. Couldn't sleep very great. Heart was still pumping pretty hard. But that was a big win. Now we got another game today against the Piers Brewers, who won the game before us last night. Should be another pretty good game tonight. Tonight's game's supposed to start at 7. So still it'll be fairly late night, but it's baseball playoff season time. Stuff is thick. Yeah, he's gonna take them home and unload them. What were you doing? What were you doing?
Daddy, how much fields are we gonna do?
This is the last one.
How much did you do already?
All of them. Oh, hey everyone. So today is Monday, August 5th. So, new week. This last week we finished up third crop hay finally. Then we had another ball game yesterday. We won, so we qualified for the state tournament. So we'll be playing ball for a few more weeks yet. Now, today, it's not raining right now, but it was raining. And they're calling for rain pretty much all day until about 3 o'clock. So it's kind of some inside projects today. And what we're gonna do, so we're gonna start chopping some sweet corn silage here. Pretty much as soon as I get the head on. But I need to put a new stone on or sharpening stone in the chopper. So that is this guy right here. So this is what goes back and forth. On that last video I showed us what sharpens the knives. And I got a warning in the cab saying that the stone is getting low. Basically, there's a counter on it. Every time it goes down, it goes back and forth. It goes down, gets closer. There's kind of a sensor or a timer in there that knows how far down it is and saying it's low. And I got to put the corn head on. So it's going to be a lot easier to work on that when I take this head off. So take the head off, put that new stone in, and then put the corn head on, because it's be a lot simpler trying to work on that with no head on it. And it's got to come off anyway, so I figured it's a good time to get that done. So do that, get the corn head hooked up, make sure that works. We'll probably chop some tomorrow, I think. Dad's got to feed dry cows and heifers. Then we are going to, we're just about out of high moisture corn. So we're going to take a bunch of corn out of the bin, dry corn, grind that up, and put that in the bag to feed the cows with. So nothing real crazy going on, but always something to do. Alright, so what I gotta do is that stone, these 2 bolts right there and there, that's where that stone is. So here's kind of your spinner, that's what pushes it. As it goes to that end, there's a cog that'll push this and turn it to lower it. So we have to turn this clockwise to raise it all the way back up. Got to loosen this thing up so it can spin. You raise it up, you can get them nuts to take that plate off that holds the stone on, I think. So we're gonna do that. So we got the stone out. As you can tell, this was the old one. Here's the new one. And somewhere along the line we lost a big chunk out of here. So that's probably not a very good sign of not doing a very good job sharpening if you're only getting 2/3 of the actual stone sharpening, so not sure when or how that happened, but new one's definitely gonna help. So we'll throw that in there and see if she works. Alright, so I'm just gonna pick this thing up, but it must have settled in the dirt too far down. I can't get the head here, or like the chopper part, low enough to scoop it, so I gotta get a jack, kind of pick that up a bit, get some blocks under it so it gets up high enough. Guys, I should have put some kind of pieces of wood or something underneath those legs on there, because it's gravel floor. That settled down, just must have went down a couple inches, because I cannot quite get my hookers underneath there. So we're gonna find a jack and pick that up a bit, hopefully. Shut this off. I don't need to be on. This might take a little while. Alright, so we got the floor jack. Was able to jack it up some, get some blocks under there. So hopefully, we'll see now if it's up high enough. I think it is, just from my eye test, but it's not really level ground, so if the tires pick up a little bit, it raises up quite a bit, but it should work. Alright, so we got her hooked up. So now, gotta remember what all needs to get hooked up. I think there's just two hydraulic hoses. Then the electrical hookup. Those go into there. Gotta hook my pins up. Set these back up, and then just got to hook the little PTO shaft on, or drive shaft, whatever you call it, on this side. There isn't a ton of grease zerks on here. These big drums, they kind of have an oil, a gearbox, I guess you call it here. But really the only grease zerks are where it pivots. Like there should be one right here, one right here. I think there's a couple up top there. Not a whole lot of maintenance to do on this. This will be its second year. We got it new last year. So everything should be pretty good on it. We'll check a few things out, but it should be just fine. Yeah, we'll hook everything up and see if we can get this thing to unfold and run, and hopefully there ain't a lot of clicking and banging that anything's hitting. As far as I can remember, everything worked fine at the end of last year, so it shouldn't be really no issues. Yeah, we'll throw it together and see if she unfolds. Alright, so next day here, we're gonna chop some sweet corn. Oh, wrong button. There you go. So yesterday, I was able to get the drums to spin. So at first they wouldn't go, but then I remembered I had to type in the chopper, basically telling it that the corn head is on now, not the hay head. Once I figured that out, it ran. So it should be good to go. We'll see. We got yesterday it rained all day. We got a little over 2 inches of rain, so it's gonna be wet. So we're We'll see if it'll even go through the chopper. It might just be mush. Hopefully it goes, and hopefully we don't get stuck. If we get stuck, you gotta walk home and get this 4-wheeler. Alright, you hold this. I'm gonna see if we can get this going.
A tractor. We'll call Grandpa. Tell him to bring the bigger tractor pulls out.
Is that better? Uh-oh. Not good.
Detective Dad.
Alright, so that was a no-go. I think this stuff was just too wet. Yeah, it's really green corn to begin with. And since we got all that rain, it was just so moist. I know I've had that before, trying to chop that stuff after rain and it just won't go through. Oh, got a phone call here. Alright, so we'll try it again here in a couple days. Another thing too, it was just kind of, wasn't pulling into the chopper, it was just kind of chopping it up. So I wonder too, since those knives are fairly dull, I put the new stone in, ran it a couple times. Maybe I gotta sharpen the knives a little more so it's a little better cut. Set that cutter bar again. Maybe that'll also help, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just too wet. Usually that stuff cuts and goes through there like nothing, so we'll try her next time. Time for breakfast.